And away,
Yeah, here we go.
Welcome, everyone, back to The View from Here, Behind Enemy Lines. I'm your host, Roy Pinna. This is my co-host behind the dark blue shirt, Mike Salvaggio. And we have Matt Pierce, right?
Yes, hello.
Pierce. I got it right. Okay. See, I'm not that friggin' old. Anyway.
Don't worry, Michael
John,
is older than you.
You're older, so you're not that freaking old.
Anyway, Mike met Matt recently. And Matt, you tell us about yourself, about being a
Not recently.
conservative.
No, me and Michael go way back. What has it been, like 4 or 5 years now?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
maybe
thought
less
you
than
just
that.
met. My mistake.
No,
He
at
keeps
least
telling
3
me about
years,
people he
maybe
meets
more.
all the time.
He
Okay,
was on the corner the other night selling his body to whomever. But the thing is that I never participated in that.
So he
That's
says.
just what you say on the internet. Yeah.
I know. He's such a fag, isn't he? Oh, by the way, we are very uncensored. And I just killed our G rating again for this week.
And knocked us off of
It'll get worse. So it'll go to X from R.
calling me a fag is such a queer thing to do. So Matt, the reason why you're here is
Go ahead. What's going on?
the reason why you're here, Matt, is because the political atmosphere, the political environment is radically changing with young people under 30 years old. As a matter of fact, the numbers are staggering. Unfortunately, I don't have them, but they're somewhere in the 30 or 40% range. And that's for young men and women. That's the funny thing. It's it's evensies. So
Is it even? I know it was men and women, but wasn't it more men than women still, but it was both? Or was it more even? I thought that
it was both, but there was a radical difference. It's like 20% for women and 30% for men, but I don't consider that enough of a
still a lot.
But anyway, it's noticeable. But the point is that you folks, your generation, helped Donald Trump make it across the finish line, and we thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Even though you're old enough to know what you're doing, you did a good job anyway, right, Roy?
Yes, you did a very good job. Look, they did better than our generation. They did better than, what is that, Generation X? You're Z, right?
Yes,
Matt,
correct.
you're
I'm
Z,
technically I'm on the slightly older side of Gen Z.
Gen X, millennials.
Oh, shut
Gen
up.
X and the millennials are lost cases for the most part.
Yeah, I think they were fully indoctrinated. I don't think they're going to get broken out. But I think that's part of the reason Gen Z is doing well is because they're able to kind of see through it all, especially with the internet these days.
Right.
I don't think. I also think that the failures of the left are more obvious now than they ever were. Whereas the previous generations were given promises, Gen Z recognized failure.
Well, Gen Z's been brought up in. Obviously, you guys are older, so you know you've known government, how government runs, how the United States has run, 40 more years than I have ever known. But ever since we were younger, looking at the news, the government's been basically inept since as long as anyone my age can remember. And I think we're just getting tired of it.
I told you. I told you about this guy.
No, it's good. Yeah. I mean, what you haven't seen is what Michael and I have seen over the years, where our individual freedoms, and most people don't notice, especially the young people, our freedoms are not what they were back in the 50s, 60s, even 70s. I mean, we have slowly lost our personal freedoms. I mean, it used to be like 100 years ago, you could collect rainwater in a barrel and drink it, for your house, use it for whatever you needed. Now, no, the government says, no, you can't do that. It used to be that you could do things from the founding of our country until a few decades ago. You could do whatever you wanted to do as long as it wasn't against the law and as long as the government didn't say, wait, you're hurting something or someone. Nowadays, everything is prohibited unless you ask the government for permission, which is bullshit. It's not what the Constitution set out to install in this country.
Well, the thing. Go ahead.
I would say it is bullshit. Nobody in my generation will know this, but at least what we know is it all started around the NFA, which I want to say is the 30s is when that got passed. I forget the exact year. With short barrel rifles, fully automatic weapons, sawed-off shotguns. I forget what else is in the original NFA. I think it's the 30s. I'd have to look up the exact year. I know it was early 19th century.
That was because of
monsters.
Movies. That was because of showing that every gangster in America was using a Tommy gun, a submachine gun,
Mm-hmm.
and the 45
wasn't
submachine.
a criminal weapon. I mean,
It was a very popular weapon. Period.
wait a second. Let's understand what caused all that. What caused that was the prohibition. They created a vacuum for the black market to make money. So you had these people making vast amounts of money off of alcohol, and they were fighting over the territory. So it's kind of like Benghazi, where they created a vacuum and all of a sudden you have more terrorists. It's like, but what's interesting is I'd like to know and I don't think I've ever really discussed this with Matt, what emotionally it's like to be a Gen Zer out of water. In other words, when you're with other people your age that are indoctrinated, how tough is that for you?
Well, short answer, very, but I could go into it for a while. I think before I start getting into it, I think over the past 6 months, like shortly before Trump won, I think it started to change, even towards the end of the Joe Biden presidency. That's because if you didn't duct tape your eyes shut and plug your ears, you saw how terrible everything was. There's still people who deny it who I don't even understand what reality they're living in. But ever since that started to go downhill and Trump started to take back over, I think it's been, especially the past few months even, you're able to be a lot more open about it. But for a while, any view that was even remotely right of far left was seen as you're the other. That's terrible. You hate this group of people. You're XYZ. Like you guys are in the space a lot. You guys are very politically, I don't know what the word to use. Politically motivated, maybe. You guys see everything's happening. Like I know you have a bunch of connections, Michael. You talk to everybody and everybody.
Well,
Don't give me that look. You know what I'm talking about.
I started this podcast because Michael and I were talking after we reconnected after years of my being fortunate enough not to have to deal with him. I found him and I contacted him, and then we started talking. And I started recording our conversations. And then I said, "What?
Wait a second. Let me just say this. I felt sorry for him because nobody would talk to him, so I decided to reach out."
Anyway,
I believe that.
The stuff we talked about was pretty interesting, and we decided, I decided we should do this podcast. He was resistant at first. Now he doesn't leave me alone. He's like, we got to do a podcast tonight. We got to do a podcast tonight. And,
yeah, something like that. I'm gonna cut that video and I'm gonna send it to your family.
Anyway,
that sounds very much like Michael.
So but we have it's a fun time we have because it's two older Americans just talking about stuff based on our experiences, based on our lives, based on what we've seen happening to our government, which is very disturbing these days. Well, until now. Now we have reached, if he is allowed to live, we've reached the golden age, and hopefully what Doge is doing is going to uncover a lot of shit that is wrong. I mean, they've only uncovered a small part of what's wrong. And, it bothers me that a lot of people on the left.
What?
Wait, say that again, because something went in the video.
Transgender essential.
Yeah, right. The only thing I have to say about the transgenders is they're always crying about there's a transgender suicide. The only genocide. The only transgender genocide occurring is transgenders killing Christian kids, innocent children.
The reason why transgender became a problem was because it stopped from being a choice, theoretically a choice, to actually a political movement and an excuse for maligning those people who didn't agree with that choice, so to speak, or simply didn't want to be imposed by it. So, we used to jokingly call it the gay stop, because of the fact that, they were constantly saying, like recently, they say
the gays are against it in general.
Are actually there's a genocide taking place by us against transgenders. So it's just
bullshit.
Asinine.
I don't care what somebody does in the privacy of their own home, who they sleep with, who they want to sleep with, how they dress, whatever. Just don't make me look at you and say, you have to call me Janice. With that beard, I'm going to call you Janice? I told Mike this story where I when I worked in New York years ago, twice I got fooled because I saw this nice body in a nice dress. The first time I saw really nice slim body in high heels walking away from me and in a white dress. And I'm walking. So it was a black woman, right? I get up there. It wasn't a black woman. I get there. He's got a pharaoh's beard. Okay. I mean, and I was like, fuck, man. Damn. And anyway.
Just to let you know, Matt is actually very pro Second Amendment.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, that's why I started with the whole NFA spiel earlier. That should be repealed.
No, I figured that because you mentioned that. I figured it. Yeah. And then, like, do you know why the 1968 gun laws were rammed through Congress? It was after the riots. All of a sudden, they said, "Oh no, we can't have blacks having guns." So the gun control is actually
I know
very
less about
racist.
that, but I do know part about it. Yeah, the whole Black Panther movement and stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? The Black Panthers in that instance where they showed up with the guns at City Hall, I can't fault them for that because they were exercising their Second Amendment rights and they were showing you're not going to stop us from doing this. And they were absolutely correct. They didn't commit any violence. Okay, they spoke their piece and went. And then the white politicians, mainly Democrats, went out and rammed this gun control bill in 1968 through. I think it was Teddy Kennedy who was the driving force behind it, or one of the driving forces.
So Matt likes to shoot, and
right.
What's your favorite firearm right now?
My favorite right now is probably my TTI Combat Canic. It is so much fun to shoot. You haven't tried it yet, Michael, have you?
Yeah.
What?
I haven't tried it yet. I don't think. No, I did. I did get a chance to shoot when I was with your brother.
No, I don't think I had it then. You tried trying my Canic, my other Canic, but not this one.
The Canic company is fantastic. The way they package their firearms. Mm-hmm. What did they supply?
My TTI Combat came with everything. The only downside is it came with 2 magazines, but besides that, it came with a to-go repair kit. It's like a little handgun that holds tools inside of it that you can like adjust and fix anything you need to. Everything you need to clean it, a holster, really nice, like, I forget the brand, Pelican box to hold it all in. What else did it come with? It came with a few other things. Very good warranty. I'd have to bring the box out. It literally comes with everything.
Right. I was impressed when he showed it to me.
Different back straps.
Which Canic model? I didn't hear that because I had to answer my ex-daughter-in-law asking me if I could take my grandson somewhere yesterday.
It's the Canic TTI Combat. It's made in collaboration with Terran Tactical.
Okay. And can I ask you what that ran, roughly?
With the red dot optic, it was about 1,000.
With the optic?
With an optic. That's really nice.
It's
essentially a clone of a Trijicon RMR, so it's a really nice red dot.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, red dots can be expensive, man.
NZ, they don't mind spending money.
Everything costs so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's better off having the gun than some eggs because he can always go out and shoot, and shoot somebody, some libtard. No, that's another thing I've noticed. Aside from Muslim terrorists, Americans, good patriotic Americans, also have a tendency to grow long beards. Not all of them have a mustache. Okay,
I think it depends upon the region. Around here, you'll get to see a lot of these ZZ Top beards, and up in let's say New Hampshire and stuff. But I would not say that the majority of the conservatives are bearded males.
Well, actually, he could be mistaken for Amish if he dressed in a black suit.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Well, I mistake him all the time.
I think you said I've had an Amish beard on more than one occasion.
Well, yeah. The thing is, when it comes to insulting Matt, it's a target-rich environment. So.
Well, he says that about me all the time. You and I both know that he's such a liar.
Here's a funny thing: when we play,
He didn't get that unless he ever saw Abbott and Costello.
Right. When we play a board game together, we're constantly calling each other's cheats whenever the game goes well for us. Like if we get really lucky,
all the time.
Oh my God! It's just hysterical.
I used to do with my brothers when we used to play when we were kids. It wasn't just board games; anything.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you lost anything, you cheated. You had to cheat. Then it was a fist fight.
One of the funny things about being friends with somebody so much younger than myself is the fact that the peculiar thing is that when I'm with Matt, I forget his age. He just seems like another person.
I always remember
You
you're
better
old.
watch out.
So.
You got a lot of these pedophile hunters going out there. They might pick you up by mistake.
That's
Oh my
one for
God.
each of you.
No, actually, Matt's of age. Matt's over 21, so you're okay. Yeah, they won't
Yeah.
bother you that much. Yeah.
So, Matt, what do you think of Trump's performance in these past few weeks?
I think it's definitely way better than his first term, at least from what I can remember. Like, he did some okay things during his first term, but so far he's doing much better. I think it's an amazing improvement from what we've dealt with from the last 4 years. He's not done everything perfect. I don't think there is such thing as a perfect person or a perfect president, but overall, I would say I'm happy with everything he's done so far. And I think he's on the right track. We just got to keep this momentum going for. Yeah, we just have to keep this momentum going for at least another couple years.
Well, he said 100 days. The first 100 days would make or break.
Yeah, because he knows that the deep state is out to sabotage it.
Also,
In fact, I heard today the president of the United States is having trouble getting into Fort Knox to look at the gold.
Hey, so am I.
Why?
Because there's nothing in there.
It's understandable, but the president of the United States, yeah, exactly. You know, what are they doing?
He's a felon.
You got to wait another week. We're still painting lead bars gold. And the other thing, the Treasury Department was asked under Biden to to give them reports. Republicans asked them for reports on the red flags that were brought up about Act Blue, the Democrat funding source, which is funded by Soros and
isn't that supposed to be an
Republican?
NGO?
I forget what his name is. What?
Isn't that an NGO?
Yeah, supposedly. But they give all their money, the money they get. Anyway, Act Blue, Jamie, what was his name? Who's the guy? James O'Keefe.
Mm-hmm.
He did a thing a few years ago in 2021 where he went and interviewed several people, Democrats, who had contributed to Act Blue, and he said, "Did you contribute 11 times for a total of 80-something thousand?" Another guy was like 15 times for a total of 300,000. These are old people who don't have that kind of money. They said, "No, of course not. I gave them money one time or twice. That's it, and nowhere near that much." Act Blue was getting money from what the hell is the USAID, and it was being funneled into the coffers of Democrats, supposedly as small donations from all these people who never made those donations. Okay, so there's a big laundering.
I have a question for Brother Matthew.
What is that?
Brother Matthew. Okay. Yeah, all you need, if you had a cloak, that'd be great. You'd look like a Star Wars brother or something else. Like,
he's actually hiding his Cthulhu.
There he goes. There he is. Hey, wait, Brother Matthew. Look at him.
Well, that was fast. But anyway, what I was going to ask him is, of all of the appointees from Trump, is there one that thoroughly shines out of all the others for you?
One that I think about at night sometimes is Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard is great. Probably RFK Jr. If I had to pick one single one, it'd probably be RFK Jr. Because what he's. I don't know. I talked about it with you a few times. It's one thing I talked about with a few of my other friends that I talk about politics and stuff with, is that the food crisis that we have in America, which you're a health nut, Michael, so you know all about it, is probably one of the most important issues we have today. It's because a lot of the other issues, like you were mentioning transgenderism, a lot of those other issues similar to that are trickle downs partially from the food crisis we're having, of the hormones and food chemicals in food that are just messing with people's brains and hormones over time. And if RFK Jr. can get what he wants to done and start banning some of these things that they banned in Europe, some things that they haven't banned in Europe yet that is just terrible for you, and gets America healthy again, I think that'll be one of the biggest steps in getting our country back on track. So I'd probably pick RFK Jr.
I don't know. I think it might have been Benny Johnson, or who's the big guy? Oh my God, from
Tom Homan.
No, newscaster. Anyway,
newscaster.
They went to
Pete Hegseth.
Newscast. Very funny. But anyway,
the defense secretary.
He's Superman. But
Yeah,
anyway,
you're talking about the defense secretary.
There was one of these newscaster people, these podcasters, and they went to lunch with RFK, and he brought them. RFK brought this person. It might have been, I don't know, but anyway, He brought them to this fast food place to experience their food, because that fast food place, I forget what it was called. It's not the super big one, but it's not small either. They changed their oil ingredients to tallow, which is supposedly much healthier.
Mm-hmm.
I've never even heard of tallow.
Well, McDonald's did that.
It might have been Shake Shack. I know they did semi recently. Was it Shake Shack?
That's
Yes,
it.
yes.
It was
I heard they-
Shake Shack. It was down in Florida, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that he's already making an effect. He's making personal requests to people, businesses, and so forth, and he's getting results just by making personal requests.
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
and McDonald's supposedly has gone back to tallow for their fries too.
I didn't
That
know
would be
that.
incredible.
See, that's,
Well, you know, Michael, the restaurant we went to,
I've been meaning to.
pardon me?
I was to say that restaurant we went to, Pops, the place you like their burgers, they cook everything there in beef tallow. It's another reason I like that restaurant.
There's this place in Easton called Pops that is worth a shout out. Where is it? What's the street that it's on?
I forget. I know it's right off the highway. Is it 33 or 78 there? I forget.
78, around 70.
Special effects.
Yeah, it's right off 78 near, there was like 3 gun stores there. It's like right near there.
Yeah.
I forget what road it's on though.
Yeah.
Good restaurant though. Very good burgers.
Yeah, Matt brought me there after a shooting. And no, we didn't shoot anybody. After we did the shooting. And I have to admit, the burgers were so good, it felt like a flashback. I'm telling you, it was like really good stuff.
Huh.
It even looked right. You know, like
Mhm.
some food, you see it, like they bring in that special salad that you ordered, and it's got exactly what you had hoped it had, and even more. That's what it looked like. As soon as I saw the burger, I said, "Wow, that looks like a
real
real
burger."
burger." Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Good. No, that's very important that he does that. I mean,
Who did he pick? Oh, he picked RFK. He picked RFK.
RFK Jr. Yeah, and RFK Jr. Hopefully he will stop the treatment of our soil with all these chemicals that they're putting in
Mhm.
that have really destroyed the soil and destroyed the nutrients that the soil would normally give to our produce.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, go back to the old way where you turn the earth every so often. But a lot of people don't realize that RFK is also concerning himself with the mental health of the American people.
Mhm.
Which is at its lowest point in a long time.
Yeah.
There's
Look at you.
multiple factors for that. But yes, I don't know how much I would contribute. Like, if I had to give a percentage, how much I would contribute RFK to Trump winning the election. But I don't think it's 0%. I definitely think in some way, shape, or form, him teaming up with Trump
It's
helped
not
him win the
actually-
election.
Here's a personal experience that Roy and I both had. We had a gentleman named Nick Marcario on our podcast who was a heavy-duty anti-Trumper, and the only reason why he voted for Trump was because he had hoped that RFK would be given the voice that he needed. And
Mhm.
so that's one vote for sure. A person who would never have voted for Trump, hates him.
Well, that's the reason. There's so many
Yeah,
people with
talking
Trump's
mixed
derangement
votes.
syndrome.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Well,
That's just
did
the
you
fault
see
of the
the
media.
video?
What video?
Did you see the video?
And the Democrat politicians calling for violence. Did you see that an InfoWars reporter was killed yesterday?
Yes,
In
murdered.
office?
I saw the headline. I haven't really had time the past 2 days to look into it at all. So if you know more about it, I'd love to learn more.
I looked it up just before we got online.
Yeah, beaten to death.
Holy
They found
shit.
him alive, but by the time he was dead.
Yeah, he was pronounced dead at the hospital.
I don't know.
Okay, well, what's the story behind it? What led up to it? Like, where this happened?
Those books behind him are bullshit.
Oh yeah,
He's
no,
got-
this is just a special effect. My hands disappear. See, look, I disappear.
55-gallon drum with.
I don't know why it's like this.
Hurting in it. That's what he's got.
I shouldn't have used this. This is the first time I've used it in months, and
It actually looks
it
good.
was
I
the
like
wrong
it,
move.
but it's
Oh, yeah,
going to
no,
get.
the background looks nice.
It
I'm not
beats
even sitting where I usually sit.
when it comes to Matt because it looks
I
like
need more
he's
light.
sort of secret agent hiding in the shadows.
Yeah, right.
Deep throat.
It disappeared
Let me
back
take
here.
another picture of you here. Hold on.
Oh my God! The spot where his beard is looks like another dimension.
Hold on a sec.
It's
Why
black, and then the
Like-
green and the octagon. Matt, let me ask you a personal question. Out
What's
of
up?
all the games that we've ever played, which one did you enjoy the most?
Hold on.
He's hoping you'll say one of his.
I don't think I've played his games enough. I have to pick one. I have to think about it for a while. Maybe make a list of like 3 of them. Well, off the top of my head, if I had
the one where we have Radlands.
Radlands would be on the list of 3. I don't know if it would be my number 1 though.
Okay.
I might go with War Chest. I really enjoyed that game.
So good, but it is crunchy. War
Not
chess
that
is
bad, though. You can pick it up pretty fast.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing about chess. You can pick up all the moves really fast, but mastering it is another story. It's just War chess is an abstract game where you have these discs with symbols on them, which represent archaic units like bowmen and crossbowmen and knights and horsemen, and you basically play a chess-like game on the board. But it's just brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant.
We have to play that fishing game again that we played a couple weeks ago. That was fun.
Tanari, I'll be honest with you. Tanari is so simple to teach. I would think that even Roy could learn it. On one of his better days.
We should all do it together.
That would be fun.
You guys go play up in Stroudsburg or elsewhere?
The Mythic Beasts and Brew on Freemansburg Avenue in Easton. I
They're
also
right there in Easton,
over
right?
at the Portal Comics and Games. So that's in Bethlehem, next to Lincoln Street.
Linden.
And then there's the Gamer's Edge in Stroudsburg. Those are the 3 places I play the most.
I have to head up there.
It's good. Mondays is open gaming night. That's when I go up.
I probably won't make it on a Monday then.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, if you want to, you could drive over to here and then jump in my car and we could go up together, save yourself some gas.
I'm booked from the time I wake up to the time I pass out on Mondays, but maybe another time.
Mondays are very too, yeah. Okay.
Oh, Mondays are tough. Well, you're still in school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in
Matt? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Roy
his
and
dad
I
over there was
started
looking
doing
at.
Roy and I used to do a lot of gaming. We played Dungeons and Dragons together, Axis and
Advanced
Allies.
Dungeons and Dragons, not the original.
Yeah, well, it's far more advanced now than it ever was.
Fifth edition's super easy. You can get in back in the Dungeons and Dragons super easily. Like
you know
I'm
what I
playing
like
Dungeons and
a lot?
Dragons with a
RuneQuest.
group of friends right now.
I recommend Gloomhaven. I think that's the better choice because
I like
you don't.
RuneQuest when we played that. Remember?
RuneQuest was cool, but again, that was you had a referee running the show, and Gloomhaven is a self regulated game, so everybody gets to play. It's really good,
Okay.
and if you don't want to go $130 into Gloomhaven, you can get Jaws of the Lion for $50, which is just as good. I think in some ways better.
You can't make your own adventure in
Not
Gloomhaven
having
though.
played these, not having played those, I can't comment on them.
I've
What?
wanted to. I've never gotten into it. Maybe we'll have to do it sometime.
Well, I don't have any of those. I gave them away. I just don't want to get committed to them because it's so much work.
Hey, Matt, you ever play Axis and Allies?
No, I'm more into Risk, but I've played it a long time ago.
Uh-huh. One that we played years ago, but we only played it maybe twice or 3 times tops.
Diplomacy.
Civilization. What?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Diplomacy.
Oh, Diplomacy was great. I loved playing that. Oh, that was great. That was that was the most treacherous game. If you played Diplomacy with us, depending on how bad we betrayed you, you might never ever talk to us ever again.
Actually, it has a history of breaking friendships. It does have a real history of doing that. Some people.
Oh, you know what game I really liked, and this was a game you played over a period of time, like a week or a month. Killer.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
I remember when Paul Murphy showed up at my house and he shot me with a banana and then I somehow shot him as well and his body bomb went off and we both
he
died.
used the body bomb on you too?
Yes.
I met him one time in Roselle. We were going to go to lunch at the Blue Diamond, I think it was called. We're going to have lunch there. And we come up and he goes, and I go, I don't know what I used to shoot him with, right? Maybe just my hand. I went, bang, you're dead. Right. And he goes, well, so are you. I said, how? He goes, I had a body bomb. And then as soon as my heart stopped, the bomb went off.
Well, that's when you tell him you shot him in the stomach and he's going to be alive for at least a minute. By the way, Killer is a ongoing game where it can last for weeks, where people supposedly are out to kill each other, and there's certain rules. Like if you want to shoot somebody, you write gun on a banana and you point it at them, and that's the equivalent of a gun. So,
you know what a great one was that I liked? You get the guy's car radio, you turn it all the way up, right? And then he starts the car, and the thing blasts like crazy. And then there's a little note that says, "You've just been blown up by a car bomb."
All of
At
this
one
happened.
time, my friend
all this-
Little Joe, I was playing with Little Joe one time. I went over to his house one night and put aluminum foil around the house. And then I called him. I said, "Your house was just burned down with you and your family in it."
Oh man,
I've
life
gathered,
It was a
I've
after
great
gathered.
thing. It was great. And you never knew who had the contract on you, you know?
we played plenty of games and we had big fun. We played Axis and Allies, which is a miniature warfare game, kind of modern, I guess you would say mass production style.
I
played
like the Avalon Hill games. Blitzkrieg. Remember
Blitzkrieg.
those?
Yeah, the problem with all those is I found
Panzer
them
Battle.
long and too many rules. And
Yeah. It was difficult. It was ponderous.
that's why I designed a Frontline. Frontline, you get to, it's kind of like it's a snack. If you like war games, then you could play this in an hour and you could get your, you tell him about Frontline. He's only heard it
One
from,
that I used to play with Little Joe and Glenn was the Battle of Leipzig.
Yeah, that's one.
Napoleonics game. That Napoleonics game was great. It really was.
Are you talking about wooden cubes where
What?
when the unit got hit, you would turn it and it would reduce?
Was that on that game? I can't remember.
I
No,
don't
that
know.
was in Blitzkrieg or Panzer Battle.
Matt, tell
What's
him
up?
what you think about Frontline.
Worst game I've ever played. Don't
I
play it.
didn't hear. I know.
No, it's fun. I like the I forget the D-Day version of it better. I think that version is way more fun. But
Yes,
I
I
know
can't
you kind of
produce it
went
right
back and forth on a lot. But it's a good
I
game.
played it 2 years ago when he was still developing.
Sorry,
That's
no,
probably about
my
right.
design.
I played
What was that?
Frontline with you when you were still developing it. When I was recovering from my foot surgery, you came over that time.
Did we really?
Yeah, it was
Oh my God, I forgot it.
yeah. I became one of the play testers. I bet you don't have my name on as a play tester. You piece of shit. No,
Matt
I'm
actually
I'm really pissed
defeated
off.
the
So I'm instead of calling you a piece of shit, you fucking Democrat. You. That's the worst thing I can call
okay, okay, you Marxist. But the thing is that we never. I don't believe we completed that game. I think you were kind of burnt out and you were in pain, so we couldn't
I
really
was
play it.
Yeah, I was in pain for physical pain and then mental pain from you being there.
That's the reason why I remember you playing the game because I only introduced you to it. We maybe did one or two moves, and I realized
No.
you were not in any condition to
No,
play a
we
game.
played
Like
the whole game. I think.
No, we didn't.
I think we did.
You probably
Four-
did.
four-
It doesn't
four
take that
turns,
long.
right? Wasn't it 4 turns?
No,
Or am I
it's-
confusing that with diplomacy?
Yeah, it was 4
I don't
turns.
know what you're confused. No, there's 4 rounds.
Same
4
thing.
rounds. Yeah, that was the whole game. Wasn't it? Sorry, 4 rounds.
Same
not
thing,
turns.
Michael.
There's 16
So
turns,
Matt,
4
have you
rounds.
regretted coming onto the show? Are you happy that you're in shadows so you don't have to be
Not
associated
yet.
with this show?
No, I gotta get better lighting. I couldn't prepare that well for this tonight, unfortunately. I could turn this
This
on,
is-
but it's just gonna blind my camera. So
This is the view that you would get of a person you're interviewing that's hiding from the FBI.
how do you know I'm not? Oh, there, you really
Yeah,
dark.
he's a
Hold on.
whistleblower.
Yeah, okay,
He's a
Looks like he's-
whistleblower.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt's a
I should
whistleblower.
go full Kanye, put the whole head mask on.
No,
When
he's
you
a
don't-
whistleblower.
What you're not
Telling
aware of, Matt, is the
the
NSA
bird
is
was
tracking
bullshit.
your call and is out to go ahead and destroy you.
I'd be more surprised if they weren't.
Well, actually, there was a period about 2 years ago that I thought Roy and I were going to get in a lot of trouble because we were very outspoken.
Ooh.
Especially about
I think
things like
occasionally we still do that. I mean,
Yeah.
last week, wasn't it last week that I called Elizabeth Warren the cunt, and then I apologized to cunts and said I would call her terrible names, even if she had her bodyguards present?
I would.
She's a disgusting scumbag. No, there's nothing there. It's all. Actually, I got my plant back here, my TV, the other plant, the
Yeah,
little
but you
plant
had your illusion. Ignore the man behind the bookshelf.
in front of the bookshelf.
Well, you're supposed to go behind the bookshelf.
No, I'm in front. Actually, this is closed around like Young Frankenstein, where the wall turns. You know,
So let me ask both of you a question.
No.
1 year from now, how much of Trump's agenda do you think is actually going to be completed? That's 1 year from now.
I'm hoping a lot. It
That's
all
not
depends. I mean, again, like I said, Treasury is resisting giving
I
information.
didn't I didn't ask you for hope. I asked you how much do you really think is going to be performed percentage-wise. Matt, why don't you give him an example of what a real answer looks like?
Before I answer,
What?
I need to ask you a question. Points, like, would you consider to be Trump's agenda? Like, everything he's
Build the
ever said,
wall.
or like the big ones? Build the wall? Okay, that's one. Anything else? Things like that?
The illegals, that's nice. Joe, did you hear about the illegal thing that they actually now have an app for the illegals to say, this is how you get out of the country. And if
wait. No, you've got it wrong. That was the same app that Biden administration was using, giving to illegals on the phones they were giving him to say, where do you want to go in the United States? And we'll help you through this app. Now, the Trump administration came in and Trump reversed it. So now it's like, where are you? We're going to help you get back to your country. So
yes, you're absolutely right.
Trump didn't make the app. He just reversed it. Instead of a welcome, it's go by and get the fuck out.
That is re-engineering as far as I'm concerned. So they engineered it, okay, that it helps them leave the country. And if they leave the country without breaking the law and this, that, and the other thing, and don't create a record, the United States is willing to take them back at some point if they're willing to do it legally.
Yeah, I think sounds like a good thing.
Also, yeah, they won't be prohibited. Meanwhile, the Democrats and CNN and so forth are screaming about all these whatchamacallit, illegals that have been put in camps, put in I guess holding facilities, and it's terrible for them because they don't know when they're going to be sent back to their country. Well, the problem is there are so many of them, and their countries are resisting getting them back because they don't want them either. That they are free to leave at any time on one condition: they decide we're leaving, and then they will be escorted to the border and put on a bus, a plane, whatever. But in the meantime, they're suffering in these camps. Yeah, because they're hoping to escape maybe and get back into the country.
I think we should get one of these oil barges that you transport oil and put all the illegals and drop them off in Palestine.
How come?
Cuba's
why in Palestine?
To fuck their day up.
You what?
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's like, or paratroop them into
Cuba's right there, man.
Still take care of them.
There.
Yeah, that's it. Either put them at work or use them as fodder.
It'd be the first time that any illegals went to Cuba instead of from Cuba.
Yeah. It's partially not the illegals' fault because of the fact that Biden did create that app, did invite them over, did pay money to have them flown over. So he was an enabler, and the thing is that so a lot of these people they said, oh, the border's open, nobody's going to give us any trouble.
Well, and some of them would say, well, we thank Joe Biden for the phone and for inviting us up. And these guys, some of them came 2,000, 3,000 miles from all the way down South America. They had nice sneakers, nice clothes, not soiled or anything. They looked well fed.
300
being transported. We were paying for this shit. Our tax dollars were paying for this shit.
350,000 illegals flown in on taxpayer money
that we know of.
We know of, yes.
It's insane. It's
absolutely
ridiculous.
Cartels are very upset. I'm just letting you know they're just not happy.
Have you heard anything about these 19 cartel members that Mexico supposedly gave? Trump said in his speech that they gave us 19 of them. I think one of the cartels down there said, "Hey, let's take this gang and send them up there. Maybe it'll appease the Americans. They'll leave us alone."
They may have done the same thing that the black leadership in Africa did when the slave trade was going. They went to a tribe they didn't like, captured them, and sold them.
Look, long before the Europeans started buying them and transporting them to the New World, they were doing that throughout Africa. They were enslaving people that they conquered. The same thing happened here in the United States. I'm sorry, in the United States, in the Americas, when the Native Americans were here. It wasn't all roses and all kumbaya. No. They were warring against each other, wiping each other out, or enslaving each other.
Well, I don't know if they wiped each other. But the thing is that...
well, the gay ones did.
So anyway, wow, we went off on another tangent, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, this happens a lot, Matt. We can't stay on the straight path.
It's Matt's fault.
No, it's
It's
yours.
Matt's fault. He's
But it's
distracting
always
us.
your fault.
It's the kids. It's the kids' fault.
It's actually always Mike's fault. I know that. Anyway, you know what? We've talked so long and everything. I still have stuff I wanted to talk about. We're not going to get to. It'll be for
God.
another time.
By the way, Matt, his shit is so freaking boring.
Can't be that bad. I can talk to you all the time.
Last time.
Matt talks to you. He's well educated and he's a nice guy because he sees this old lonely man and he wants to be nice to him because nobody else will talk to the old guy.
Okay. Well, the thing is that
He's making brownie points to get to heaven.
where Matt was working was primarily a Magic the Gathering store.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a gamer, an actual gamer, not like a Magic guy. So, that's and then we played. We had a good time. But I have a question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
No.
The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion,
Go ahead,
the Witch,
I'm
and
gonna get
the
something else.
Wardrobe. Okay?
Okay.
What is that? Is it the Chronicles of Narnia? Is it associated with Frozen, Up, or She's the Man?
What? Is it associated with
Yes.
He's the man. What
Frozen,
the hell's that?
Up? Or I don't know the last one. So if it's the last one, I really don't know the answer.
Wait a minute.
Here's
You
the answer.
talking about the Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia?
Yeah.
Or the
Here's
Lion
the
and the Witch?
The answer
Frozen?
is I forgot that you're supposed to make up stuff to get people to guess one of these four, and I thought they were all together. So much for that. Hey, you both win. Congratulations.
You know what? You reminded me of something, and Matt, you're going to have to endure this now.
All
You
right,
reminded
I'm
me
ready.
that I have not yet told where the hell is it? Here it is. What the hell?
Biden. He's a Biden lover.
No, it's not Biden. What the hell? What's going on?
Well, that's
It's
what
the
happened.
All-American Dad joke.
Living in the
Here,
virgin.
All-American Dad joke. It does look like a young Biden. Okay. Here's the stupid joke, dad joke of the day.
Coming from Roy.
I don't get this. Maybe Matt will be able to. Where did the heart, liver, and kidney go on a road trip?
Where?
This doesn't make sense. It's Oregon. It doesn't make sense to me. Does it make any sense to you, Matt?
Oregon.
Oregon. Oh, I'm sorry. Duh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel so. Oh my God. I can't believe this. You know what the worst part is? Matt, you know what the worst part is? I'm Mensa.
Yeah, he's mental. Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm going to have to come up with another one. Just another one. What protest by a group of dogs occurred in 1773?
1773. What protest?
What protest by a group of dogs occurred in 1773?
The Barkalon.
Matt, you want to take a
I don't
shot?
know. No, I'm trying
The
to blank
Boston
on this
Flea
one.
Party. The Boston Flea
It's a bit of
Party.
a stretch. I don't know.
Hey, it's a dad joke. I didn't write these. I just saw it one day at TJ Maxx and I stupidly bought it.
You thought I was bad. He's so much worse. So much worse. He's an
You should
example
see what he
why
had his-
not produce any more old people.
You know what? This started when he had his jar. What the hell was the jar of good things? What was it?
I
Jar.
still have the jar here. It is the Happy Thoughts jar.
Happy thoughts. Yes, we had happy thoughts every day for about 40 days, and the happiest thought was when he was done.
What? Give you an example of one of the happy thoughts. One of the happy thoughts was put on your happy pants.
That
So
was a
stupid.
happy thought.
Isn't that what Dylan McVaney does on
I don't-
weekends?
But
Shit.
Oh boy.
how long have we been doing the podcast for? 2.5 years?
54 minutes today. No, we've been doing it for.
Who
No,
started-
2 years ago I had the surgery. Probably about a year and a half. No.
Get lost. It's more than that. It's
When did
over
I
2
do
years.
the surgery? When the hell did I have the surgery?
Started in 2020.
No.
Yes.
I haven't endured you that long. 5 years already?
You haven't tried.
Oh, God.
It's pretty
You're such a
difficult.
fag.
It's been quite some time. You should look back at some of the old
Well,
podcasts.
maybe over 2 years. Yeah, we got a lot of episodes. If you ever want to
If you've got
find a reason to commit suicide, we run a podcast.
in your life, you can watch these episodes.
Oh boy, I better sign up.
Yeah,
All right.
if you can see them on Rumble under War King Roy, or you can go to Spotify and get them from the beginning, or Apple Podcasts. That's where I first started putting them on. That was a long time ago, man. Yeah, maybe over 2 years. You're right. 'Cause
Let me see. I'm going to I'm on Spotify right now. I want to see when.
we've got a couple hundred episodes already.
So
No, not Spotify, doofus.
trailer.
Apple Podcasts. Let's see.
It doesn't show me the age of the trailer. Shit, I thought it would.
I'm going to try and find it here. Hold on.
What are you looking for?
The view from here.
Wow, there's a lot. I think the first one didn't have
There
video.
it is. View from here, behind enemy lines. Why do I have two listings here?
Okay, so that was June 23rd, June 13th, 1923 is the earliest one I found.
23. 23. Yeah, 23. Okay, like I said, a little over 2 years.
Didn't say that.
Not even 2 years. No, that's June 23. We were doing it before that. It was 2022. I started taping and we started doing it. Was that the first episode?
What?
Dipshit.
That was number one.
Was that the first episode? You know what? I should go to Riverside and see.
Well, Riverside we didn't do for long.
No, Riverside is where I'm taping this. Oh yeah, I used to do it on Spotify originally. That's right.
So I have to correct him.
Spotify bought Riverside. That's what
if
it
he
was.
doesn't take his meds, he goes all over the freaking place. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you do the same.
Hold
Well,
on,
you
let's see.
take your meds and it still happens. So.
All the way down. Oh my goodness.
This is what you have to look forward to. Not me.
Okay.
Him. This is what you
All right,
have
here
to
we
look.
go. October 26, 2022.
I told you, October.
Welcome to Conversations on Politics, History, Science, Humor, etc.
I told him October 22.
No, you didn't. You said June or July.
Just now, that's it.
Don't believe him. He's a liar. Again,
Matt,
I don't know who to
did I not
believe.
say October 22? I think I absolutely said it.
You said 2.5 years ago. Does that sound about right?
That is
our second episode was the problem with government is politicians.
The problem with this podcast is you. I think I should start doing this podcast with Matt
Okay,
now.
Matt, unfortunately, this often happens. Near the end of the podcast, we get so fucked up that we just fall apart. The whole podcast falls apart. And
Yeah,
I want to apologize to you. I don't normally apologize because it's just me and him. But since you were...
Oh, thank you. I feel blessed.
Well, yeah. It's either a blessing or a curse, depending upon how you view it. But
it's both a blessing and a curse.
I'm sorry, Matt, that I invited you.
You know what it is? It's a blessing and a curse, same as watching your mother-in-law drive your brand new Cadillac off a cliff.
Yeah. See, the thing is, he's been spending so much time with his grandchildren and doesn't know how to talk to adults anymore. That's the problem.
That makes sense.
Hey, my grandkids talk better English than you do.
I bet you can't remember when we first met.
Well, I don't know the day or the date, but it was on a Sunday at
What
the
year?
house of Russo. At the house of fucking Russo. Oh, okay. It was the year I played Dracula. So that would be
77.
1979 or 70. No, not 77.
79. That's before I met Elizabeth.
Yeah, before you met. When did you meet Elizabeth?
I met her in 78.
No, I played Dracula in either 79 or 80, I think. That's where I met Tony.
Sorry,
Antony.
Yeah, Anthony. So anyway,
It was Anthony. It's Antony.
And he didn't meet me at Tony's house. He met me at my house. He came in with Tony.
Tony brought me down to meet you, and then said you were. Oh yeah, and I remember he had his living room. In the middle of the living room, he had this great barber chair, an old time barber chair.
Well, actually, I think I met you when I was on Wyoming Avenue.
No, I only met you when you were living at Russo's house, Greer Avenue.
Oh, okay. So that's a good reason for me to have left because those memories are very painful.
Everybody left that bastard. The best part that happened to me was because Tony and Laura were an odd couple, and they used to brag about swinging. Remember?
No.
And she was a bit of a, what do you call it? Exhibitionist.
How are you doing?
She was a bit of an exhibitionist. No, I'm going to tell you about what happened. Tony goes into the bedroom. Wait, we were playing in the kitchen. Tony goes into the bedroom.
He's right over there. We have a guest.
What?
Talk to Matt. He likes talking. He's a young man who wants to get close to you. That's so messed up.
Anyway, so Laura, really nice looking. Not much up here, but she had a great ass. Anyway, so Tony goes into the bedroom, and then he comes out after a couple of minutes. We resume play, and he goes, "Oh, I'm missing. It must be in my bedroom." And he goes, "Roy, would you mind getting it in my bedroom?" So I go, "Sure." I go to the bedroom, open the door, and I stop. I freeze in my tracks because
Yeah, she's naked.
there is Laura laying on the bed,
Naked.
naked, completely naked, and
He
with her legs spread open on her stomach, her legs spread open, and she's laying on the bed. And I like for a couple of seconds, and then I closed the door. I'm like, shit. And then I went back and I said, Tony, I didn't go. I think Laura's in there, and I
what
didn't
he
want to
said.
disturb her.
Not what-
So he goes, okay. So he goes in there. He was gone a few minutes. They must have had a great laugh.
That's not what he said. What he said when he came out of the room was, "Oh, that reminds me, I have to buy fish when I go home."
Oh my god.
Anyway, apparently he did this. Apparently he did this with Paul Murphy. Did he ever do it with you too? Okay, so everybody who played there apparently got the same treatment. But I'll tell you, that was a nice ass. And I actually saw her pussy. You know what she did one time when I was working at the mall with him? He's out in the store. Wait, he's out in the store, and I'm in the storeroom, and I'm on the ladder, and Laura is handing me stuff to put on the shelves. So he comes up, and she comes up, and she's at the ladder, and she goes, looks at my crotch, and goes, perfect height.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Matt, did you ever see?
there's her husband right there. And at the time, what?
I'd like to know. Did you ever see Laura naked? No? Okay. So anyway, I think that's enough for tonight.
Yeah, I think this is descended into nothing really, chaos. And we've gone over an hour. Matt, thank you for coming in.
It was fun to come.
And what's that?
I said it was fun to come.
I didn't hear you.
It's been good.
Good. I hope we'll find out if you really feel that way if Mike never sees you again. Oh, Matt? Oh no,
There's a chance.
He quit and he moved away.
Please.
No, all right. No, really, thanks for coming on, and we hope to have you back another time, and we'll maybe do it a little more organized.
Yeah,
Not
I'll
much,
have better
just a
setup
little
next time too.
Yeah.
No, you
Okay.
did fine. You did fine.
All
You
right.
can't
I
have
know-
distraction from people having to look at this one.
Can't fail when you're with two losers.
Come on, Matt's not a loser. Come on.
That's it. Consider the way that sentence was constructed.
Yes,
Mr.
I know. By a moron who's trying to make
Yeah.
himself look good.
I'm not the one who claims to be Mensa and doesn't know how to understand a sentence.
This is what happened. He wanted to make the podcast. We should only do 10, 15 minutes, not that bad. But you know what? Every time I start saying goodbye, he finds something to hang on to and keep going, keep going. And he doesn't shut the
That
fuck
sounds
up.
about
But you
right.
know
Kinda
what?
like
Tonight, I'm going to do oh, wait. First off, folks, if you like the episode, please give us 5 stars and share the program with everybody you know.
why
Okay?
would you do
If
that?
you didn't like
Why
us,
would
share us with your enemies. But give us the 5 stars, too.
you make fun of Roy as much as you want? That makes me happy.
We'll see you again next time on The View from Here, from behind enemy lines.
This episode sucked so much.
It was your
So
fault.
do you.